we should be live. What's going on, Shield Brothers and Shield Maidens? I'm True,
And I'm Brown.
and today we are gonna get into our monthly wrap up for the month of February and our look ahead into March. So,
Yeah.
Brown, what do you want to start off with first for this?
Yeah, I just wanted to start by always showing appreciation to the community. Hopefully, some people will jump in the live chat to interact with us as well. I know last month we had a couple people and we really enjoyed that. But one of the things I wanted to start with is just, again, thank you for everyone that's watching or will watch. Uh, Blown away by January leading into February. And now that February's said and done, blown away even further. February was an extremely great month for us, and we hope that that's a reflection of the content that we're doing and trying to engage with everyone in the community, and we hope that that is a reflection of the enjoyment that you're getting out of our content. We have definitely gotten some really great feedback and advice through comments and just people reaching out to us to also help us improve our content. So can't be more than thankful for that. We somehow beat all of January's numbers in February, so
Yeah, that was wild.
we'll be crazy. Will be crazy if we continue that trend. But yes, thank you so much to the community because obviously we cannot do that without you, our Shield brothers and Shield maidens. So thank you for that. True, unless you wanted to say anything really quick, I'm going to just shout out a couple people that have commented
Go for
within
it, man.
February. All right, cool. So a couple people, just Tales from Elsewhere Games. He's got his own YouTube channel as well. We also mentioned him in our February subscriber goal short that we did. He was also the one that won our giveaway from the end of January. So hitting that goal. So thank you to him for always engaging with us and commenting on us. Appreciate that as well. Also, a couple newer subscribers that have given us some good comments. Wanna Pineapple 3 gave us a couple things on several videos, so appreciated that from them. I appreciated this guy, Make Sims Mirnov 6500, for some DC-20 related content, some good suggestions that I've already implemented for our future videos to help make the screen be seen a little better, and also the name of abilities, maintaining the original name so that people that are new or trying to learn can see both what we're calling the ability, what it is in Marvel Rivals, and what it is in DC-20. So thank you for that. And then Magnus Klein Y2I, always commenting on stuff and giving us some good feedback and sharing some love. So
Yeah,
I'll
that is
stop
one
there,
thing
but
that
that's
we
just
do
a couple.
appreciate is those comments that help us really and truly get better with this stuff because really and truly we don't know until you guys say something like, "Oh man," like we see it and we think we're good, but then sometimes we just need that little bit of feedback and it helps us out quite a bit. So yeah, love that.
I think we're really excited to try to keep bringing content as well. So our minds are always forward thinking with like the next thing. Not to say we're not putting quality in what we do. We are trying to do that, but sometimes those little obvious things just get overlooked. We think we've squared it away, and then we're moving on to something that's exciting. So we do appreciate anyone who lets us know, hey, we could have done this a little bit better.
Oh yeah. All right, so then I'm gonna bring up our monthly look ahead here so
Okay.
we can see what all we got going on for not only what we did in February, but also looking at March. So, pardon me while I change screens here. Let's see, where did you
No
go,
problem.
little
And if
bastard?
you are in the watching the video live, please comment with us and interact. If you have any questions, or it could be anything. It could be Shield Rush related, personally. If we'll share whatever. So just let us know if you have any questions.
Yeah, so here we are with February. We did end up actually putting out a lot of content this February. We did miss. Well, we really didn't miss anything. We were just kind of off by a day on a few things, but not that that's a big deal. But yeah, so we still keep putting stuff out and hitting our goals and all that. So that's always fun. We should be starting to see more of the Star Wars coming back next month. I was wanting to get one more in, but timing with everybody was just terrible. So can't be helped. I've got like two guys that are basically deployed right now, so not a whole lot that they can do about that one. But Yeah, so we got that coming back as well as Miss Toldif. We do have that projected for us to at least game here pretty soon in the next week or so. So we should start seeing that come back for our Daggerheart actual play, which is going to be so much fun. I can't wait to get back into that. But yeah, not a bad February, that is for sure.
Yeah, I'll just I know I've kind of already hit the general comment of thank you and how well much we've grown in January, February. But if you look at the calendar here that we've got pulled up, our original goal for February was 250 by the end of the month, but we actually hit it on like the 6th of February. We set our own like internal goal for another couple. Can you scroll back up to there? Sorry, we hit our subscriber goal early, and then within a week we hit our new goal, and then 2 weeks later we hit another goal. So crazy to see how February is rolling out. But appreciate you for everything regarding that. For the Monday DC20 related content, just still carrying on the Marvel Rivals series. I do have some time planned tomorrow to make a video with Fry, who's the one I work with on those. So we'll be getting the one that says March 3rd right there doesn't have a name of a hero. I don't want to release it just yet, but I think we're going to be doing Luna Snow for anyone that might be watching this. If it's wrong or we change that, I apologize, but that's kind of what I'm planning currently for tomorrow. So.
Yeah, we still got a lot of Lancer left in us. We honestly, that might be a mainstay for us because we've been enjoying Lancer so far as just the system's concerned. We can't wait to finally get into the one shot for it. But yeah, we got a lot of excitement there, as well as me for Daggerheart with the adversary encounter building. I want to make sure that we start getting into how you can actually build these encounters with particular types of adversaries. So I want to start off with the bandits because those are going to be your bread and butter in almost every single game. And then I want to get into the guards, then the giants, and then start getting into some of the social encounters. So you can hopefully bring in some very dynamic sort of encounters for your party. So not just from the combat side, but also from the social side, and how you can actually bring in these rules that Daggerheart has for social encounters. And especially if you're prepping for when the official rules come out, this is a good way to prep for that. So that way you can hopefully get your party right into the thick of it, without any issues. So.
Yeah, I'll say, and if you haven't checked out our Miss of Toldif actual plays just yet, we have, I don't know, 4 of them I think out ready. So you can see how we're as true as starting to cover more Daggerheart things and explain things like that. You can see us actually use that in our actual plays as well and see his application of it. So definitely check those out if you haven't seen them just yet. And we're also trying to make those actual plays maybe a little bit more exciting to watch as well. So we're gaming some things that'll hopefully bring some enjoyment to that as well. So they'll be even more worth watching.
Absolutely. But that's our look ahead into March. So pretty exciting. I mean, we got quite a bit going on, so we're very excited for this, and especially as we ramp up for Daggerheart and then the release for 0.9 for DC20. So that'll be pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what we're looking at here. So
I'll speak on the 0.9 stuff real quick too. Thank you for bringing that up. So if you're not watching the Dungeon Coach and his weekly lives routinely, the one from this week, basically there was a little bit of a delay in the 0.9 release. So obviously for me, I'm in Japan right now. It's the 1st of March, so it's not the end of February. But they were estimating another 2 weeks for that. So we still are waiting for the 0.9 release. And once that comes out, we'll be trying to either create other videos, extra videos, or just make sure that we're applying that content appropriately to the Marvel Rivals character builds and things like that. So we'll probably do like a recap 0.9 change video somewhere in between there, and we'll adjust the calendar as we work that in.
Don't know why my window just got all crazy here.
Technical difficulties. Don't worry about it. You guys can just focus on my face.
Yeah, just look at him.
The mustache, so it's still doing well. Trying to keep it there. I will say some other things too, not to get too far ahead, but just life things, right? So if you have watched us enough, you may know we're in the military. So I will be relocating and changing locations in the summer this year. So I will be back in America. The only thing that really helps us do is further communicate and streamline content. So things that we're planning and filming, we'll be able to do that a little bit easier. And so some of these things that we're getting comments about, like quality type stuff, hopefully will be further alleviated as well once we're there in person and we can actually talk with each other in our own time zone, right? Because being a half a day difference is pretty interruptive sometimes.
It's a real kick to the balls.
Well, yeah, I will say too, a lot of stuff that we've got planned for the future, we're not holding on to, but we're kind of hoping that once I'm there in person, we can do a lot of that stuff that we really can't do when we're not co-located. So we do have some plans far down the road for that kind of content.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to when we finally have everybody in the same place and we can actually do some of our stuff together for once. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh. But what are some of the things that you're excited about getting into DC 20 here? Like, what are you looking forward to and hoping to expect with that .9 drop? Or
Yeah.
.95 or
Uh,
.95, something like that? I think he talked about,
well,
like, they're just moving ahead so much quicker than they expected.
there will be a 0.95 released shortly after 0.9. The .95 is really just to address like damage resistances and reductions, things of that nature. Just a slight difference in the mechanic of the game. We've only played a one shot on this channel once, right? So I haven't actually played DC 20 much. I mostly just read through it and do content related to it for now. But I think as we get the .9, we get the subclasses, we get up to fourth level content. Once we have that more stabilized thing, I think I would try to focus more on doing either one shots occasionally or maybe even planning something where I'm the DM. Those sessions may be a little shorter just because I'm not as experienced and we can keep it kind of controlled and also cover. There's so much other stuff we're trying to cover. I think right now for the DC 20 videos for the Mondays, after we get through all these Marvel Rival builds, then we'll start getting into some of the stuff more like what True's doing, where we're covering other components, right? Like whether it's magic items or weapons or whatever. So we'll start covering other stuff than just the character builds. But the 0.9 I think will help with a lot of that too. And then down the road, also there'll be more releases in the future to address like spell casting and things like that. So we'll see a lot more of that on the channel as we get comfortable with that.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how his magic system ends up working as far as the items are concerned. With one of the videos that he had teased with, I was like, I kind of like some of that, which is what I ended up using a little bit of within at least my Daggerheart magic item building, as far as like how to regulate players in terms of how much they have as far as magic items are concerned. So it's one of those things that I did like a lot of that, but it also depends on the kind of system you're trying to run and how much magic you really have in your world. So I will be very curious to see what he ends up releasing as far as that stuff. So yeah, but
Yeah, I
I'm
think
looking forward to us getting more into the adversaries and the magic items and everything else. Because I don't know, shall we tease at it a little bit here?
Yeah, we can tease that. I think I don't know, we might have mentioned it before that we were looking to do some type of series like that, but yeah,
We're getting closer and closer to it, little bit by little bit, and I think that's really and truly ultimately what we are trying to get to as a channel. It's been our sort of focus, which is why we cover so many different systems. It's mainly because of the fact that we think that you should find the system that works for you. Like that has been something for me that is it's a long journey to kind of find that system that works. That's something that you enjoy, that you love to play like with it. That's one thing that I think is very important, regardless of the amount of content. That's why I've like started looking more into Daggerheart as I go, and I just kept building into it because I like the system, even if there's not that much content to work with. And there's far less homebrew rules that I have to worry about because let's face it, with Daggerheart or with D&D in particular, I was getting so big of a list that it was a little insane. So to that end, it's like why not find that system you love that plays really well and then just build the content in. So that is kind of what we're trying to do and hopefully help you all with is when you do find that system that you really like, that you're not lacking for that content. You're not lacking for how to do that.
Yeah, I'll give a shout out to Bardic Aggravation. They're another DC20 channel if you want to check them out. But they had a recent video as well talking about Dungeons and Dragons, and they go into a lot of how it kind of set the mood for everyone. But 5e was so like watered down and basic that everybody was just doing homebrew, and it just became this system that you're using, but you're just homebrewing everything, and so the system itself maybe wasn't the best system for everyone. But I will say that also is a good thing because like people get comfortable with homebrewed things and they understand what homebrew is, and so I think I'd be willing to say that any D&D 5e player is familiar with homebrew. And so as we're doing conversions and things like that into the systems that we use, it's kind of a similar thing. So I think it's an easy translation for people who are familiar with D&D 5e. If they now want to play the Daggerheart system, they don't want to see as much homebrew maybe, but they know it's there and they know that, hey, you can tweak items slightly or, and the rules allow for it. So I think it's a good bridge of going from everything's homebrew because you're trying to fix the system in the way you want versus just applying homebrew to the setting that you're using. So
I wouldn't even
I
call it
think that's
homebrew.
good.
If I'm being honest, I wouldn't even touch that.
Yeah,
It's
we call
more
it
the
that,
fact
right?
that you are bringing in content that you really want from those areas, the adversaries, the items, the
Conversions, content
weapons,
conversions.
all that good stuff, because of the
Yeah.
fact that it's not really you homebrewing it, it's more of you just bringing it in.
Mm.
And, now when you're homebrewing for the system and trying to fix the system, that tells me that you got a bad system, especially when you have a longer list of homebrew rules to make that system work than you do the actual rules themselves. So yeah, that's kind of the level that a lot of us get to. But when you have enough adversaries to really and truly play around with, and it's really easy to kind of change some of those up and create what you want for your world. Because let's face it, we all seem to have our own world these days. So the one thing that we do need is stability in our system that we play. That's pretty easy to do as long as you find the one that you want, but it's a matter of just having that content. Let's face it, you can't beat the amount of content D&D has. You just can't beat that. There's way too many books. And I think we've talked about that before. They just have way too many. So no other system's going to be able to match that. But it's really easy to build. And that's what we want to show you. It's just how easy it is to build that stuff.
Yeah,
Especially
and
without
make it
breaking your
easy to
back
a
to
way
do
where
it.
you can make it easy to a way where you can just literally take it and use it. You know,
Yeah. Plug and play.
so yeah, I think you'll see that probably a little bit towards April maybe. That type of stuff we'll really get into.
Yeah, we're definitely going to get into
Um,
that in April at least. We've been planning it in, and we got plenty on the docket for that. But there's a lot we want to get through for DC20 and for Daggerheart to really and truly build up what you have at your disposal for those. So that way, when we do finally get into the cross shield side of things, you can finally you have that background, you have that understanding
mm,
without really trying to make too many leaps, just to try and connect with what we're doing here. So
yeah, and I think even though we're trying to use the strategic calendar to give you guys like a look ahead and whatnot, we still might plan videos on the fly, right? So I don't think we've really ever stuck to the. We were originally we're gonna do like 2 videos a week. Now it's 3, and really we're posting stuff here and there in between that. So we're definitely doing our best to bring lots of content to you, and I think you'll keep seeing that with some of the other game systems that we want to at least talk about briefly to make sure people are aware of them and they exist, and also explore them for ourselves. So there'll be a couple different systems that we'll get into with that as well, specifically different from Lancer, different from DC20, different from Daggerheart.
yeah.
Uh, so
I mean, we even did a little bit of that for our Halloween special, getting into Call of Cthulhu. Like,
oh
you
yeah,
want to
Call
talk
of
about
Cthulhu.
different?
Right.
That's a different system
Yeah.
right there. But I love that because it allows you to see like the different ways that people think about tabletop RPGs in general. Be able to take what you want, what you like, and you know,
Hmm.
hopefully, if you end up having to build your own system, but with the way that we're exploring these, you should be able to find one that you like and stick with. So yeah,
Sure. Yeah, that's what I love so much about fantasy and tabletop role playing games is it's literally endless. I
yeah,
think I've said this before, but like whatever your imagination can think of, you can make it happen, right? And it's just which system is best or how do you do it in that system that you like. So a lot of that stuff is good to always explore and know how it works in different systems and things, so you can apply it to your own.
Absolutely.
We got Mindy
Yeah.
in the chat. We know you're watching from Colorado, bud.
Oh shoot. Yeah, we're excited to get Mendy back into some things here. We've all had like some weird ass schedules going on, so can't wait to finally get some stability in our schedules here. But yeah, I think that's just the nature of the job and the life, as it were. But
Mm,
yeah, I think with the amount that we have planned and the things that we've got going on, we're very excited for a lot of this stuff. And I love the amount of
mm,
RPGs that are coming out that are just so different from each other. I know Brian Sanderson has his own coming out, which is going to be very interesting to find out about.
mm.
Same goes with like getting into Lord of the Rings type stuff. At least the version that is in D&D, even, like, does it make it better? Like, what is that even like? So I think a lot of people come
Right.
in with these preconceived notions with some of these worlds in these systems. So it's like, how do you
That's
separate
true.
that sometimes?
Yeah. Yeah, we'll definitely I don't think we'll ever run out of stuff to cover, but that'll be
Never.
fun to see the different systems for sure. Um,
But yeah, so
hmm.
what else you got? Because I think
uh yeah, not much. I think we've hit our points of here's what February looked like, here's what to expect for March. It's a little
yeah,
bit more of the same, just the current content we're covering continuing for now.
for
Mm.
now, yeah, yeah. Well, cool. I'm not seeing any comments or nothing, no questions being asked, so we can wrap
Yeah.
this up actually rather quickly then.
Yeah, you can always leave your comments or questions or anything in the comment also, right? And if you don't catch it live, you can always interact with it still, and we'll monitor that and answer
We're always
those.
down in the comments, always.
Sure. Like obsessively checking it. I want people to reach out to us.
Well, and especially when you get some really cool things. Like there's one for a Daggerheart item that somebody was talking about in terms of the way the mechanics work, and I was like, that's a great freaking idea, man. Like, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely, use fear instead. Use hope and fear.
Yeah.
Um, that's I think that's what I look forward to most within those comments is like some of those more in-depth discussions about
Mm,
mechanics and about the way the game operates and how could you do it better. So I think that's what
for
we want
sure.
to see
Yeah,
more
I'd
and
love to
more as
see
we
it.
go.
Cool deal. Yeah, I think that about does it. So
Hell yeah.
we can wrap it up and appreciate everybody watching. Thank you if you didn't catch it live. Like I said, engage with us. If not, watch our other videos, engage there. But please let us know how you feel about our videos.
Yeah,
You want
but
to do the
until
sign
the
off?
next one, y'all,